Another method of factoring trinomials is called factoring by decomposition. I don't particularly like this method, but many of the students that I've tutored have learned to do it by decomposition. So I'm going to show you how that method works. You use it on the more difficult trinomials, the ones that have numbers at the beginning and the end. In this case, we multiply 4 times 7, which gives us 28. And we look for all the factors of 28. 1 times 28, 2 times 14, 4 times 7. Looking for the pair that have a sum, again, just like we discussed in earlier videos. If this last sign is plus, we're looking for a sum of 16. And that's the 2 and the 14. So we're going to replace the negative 16x with negative 2x and negative 14x. Then we take a common factor out of the first two, which is 2x, and a common factor out of the last two, and it looks like this. Now be very careful here. Taking the 2x out leaves us with 2x minus 1. Taking out the negative 7, remember that plus 7 is going to turn into a negative 1 in this bracket. If these two brackets aren't the same, then there's a problem. Something's gone wrong, and you better look for the error, because the whole idea is now we'll take out the 2x minus 1 as a common factor, and that leaves 2x minus 7, and we've got it factored. Here's another example. This has a negative sign at the end. 3 times negative 6 is negative 18. So this time we're looking for factors of 18 that have a difference of 7, and in this case that's 9 and 2. 9 times 2 is 18. 9 and 2 have a difference of 7. So we're going to replace the negative 7x with a negative 9x and a positive 2x. Again, we're going to take out a common factor. Taking 3x out of the first two terms leaves this. Taking 2 out of the last two, again, we end up with x minus 3 in both of those brackets. Take that out as a common factor, and that leaves 3x plus 2. Now, this method may seem fairly easy, but if the numbers are large, again, it leads to quite a bit of work. 28 times 10 is 280. It might take a while to go through the factors of 280 to find a sum of 43. You could just use your calculator, divide by 1, divide by 2, and so on. Keep dividing until you get another number which will add to give you the 43. 8 and 35 add up to 43, so we split up the 43x as 8x plus 35x. Once again, you go to work in pairs. Look at the first two. Common factor there is 4x. If you take that 4x out, you're left with 7x plus 2. Same thing over here. If you take out a 5 from these two, 7x plus 2, that becomes your common factor. Take it out, and that leaves 4x plus 5. So this is just an additional video. These questions are similar to what I did in the second video where I used the crisscross method. This is also a method that can be used on the more difficult trinomials.